Crimes of the Future. Guys, we're going to be talking about Crimes of the Future and watching a bunch of movie trailers today on Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. Guys, this is the Horror Weekly Roundup, where we talk about all the big horror movie news that dropped during the week. And we're going to start off by talking about Crimes of the Future, David Cronenberg. Okay, so... I always mess that up. Well, that's 2 days in a row that I messed that up. But I'm sorry. OBS has just been a little bit fickle, so I apologize. That's my intro. Let's go through the whole intro spiel here. If you don't know how this works, guys, we do this weekly. It's a live show, so if you join us in the live chat, I'll talk with you guys in between the stories. You know, I'm just a big movie fan. Just like you guys, I know my stuff when it comes to movie news stuff. I watch all the trailers and stuff like that. Sorry, OBS is just giving me a little bit of a pain in the butt here. So with that being said, I'll put time codes for all the stories there in the comment section below, so you'll be able to always follow along. For the most part, always. Let's get into Crimes of the Future. Crimes of the Future came out this weekend. It's rated R by David Cronenberg. Stars Léa Seydoux, Viggo Mortensen, and Kristen Stewart. Okay, and Scott Speedman. Let's take a look at the synopsis. We're going to talk about spoilers here, so if you haven't seen it yet, you may not want to watch this version. Watch the previous version of yesterday's video, and you'll see my spoiler-free version there. But here we'll get into the synopsis again. Humans adapt to a synthetic environment with new transformations and mutations. With his partner Caprice, Saul Tenser, celebrity performance artist, publicly showcases the metamorphosis of his organs in avant-garde performances. So, Viggo Mortensen is Saul Tenser, Caprice is his assistant, played by Léa Seydoux, Scott Speedman is Lang Daltrice, and, okay, so, now I gave it a 7.5, and I've been thinking about it, about the premise. There is some very nuanced things going on, like with the metaphor of like body dysmorphia and stuff like that, because like we've seen the images. Okay, guys, there's people out there. Basically, it takes place in a time where people don't feel pain anymore, and humans are evolving, right, to do things like even eating plastic and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird, and this lady is just one person that Léa Seydoux, Caprice, goes to see, where she's cut her face like this just to make it look different, right? Why not? And there's like, you know, in this scene too, there's like a scene of this lady her foot is being cut, and she's like having like an orgasmic experience with it, to put it lightly. But let's take a look at the tomato meter here. 78% by critics, only 114 reviews, 62 by the audience score. So the audience isn't going to like it. And here's the number one reason why I think a lot of people didn't like the opening scene, is because it's a mother killing her son. That's how the movie opens up. Basically, this kid is like playing out in the ocean. Her mother's like, don't eat anything, or something like that. Then we go in, and we've seen that shot in the trailer where the kid's eating like the plastic bin, like the garbage bin. And it's like, well, what's all that about? So that's basically like one of the main driving cruxes of the movie, that humans are evolving to not eat normal food and stuff like that. There's the guy, Scott Speedman, that wants to make humans adapt to the world so they can eat plastic and stuff. And that's why Viggo Mortensen's character has trouble eating stuff, like human stuff. He sits in that weird chair we've seen to move his body around to adjust to the pain, but he has trouble even swallowing human food. And we've seen that in the trailers. All that stuff was really like performance by Viggo Mortensen, like just the way he was moving his body and trying to choke down food and stuff like that. He has to sleep in that special bed that moves his body around because his body's constantly in pain, because he's cutting out his organs for showcase, right? And to have people go, ooh, wow, look at that. You're pushing your body to the extremes. And we'll take a look at an article here up on Screen Rant that goes into it a little bit more. But it looks like audiences are not faring with it too much. And I said in my initial reaction that it's a bit of a slow burn, and some of the pacing in the second act, or like towards the middle of the movie, I do believe some people will be kind of like, oh, what's going on here? Yeah, kind of like, just get on with it already. We know that, but Cronenberg takes time there to pause and show you stuff, especially with Kirsten Stewart's character, where she's working with this organ registry agency or whatever, and she's totally fascinated with Viggo Mortensen, and she doesn't really help to drive the story along too much. It's just more kind of like, hey, I'm really curious about this kind of stuff. Yeah, let's go over to this article on Screen Rant, and maybe we'll talk about some of the stuff that's going on in here. So they look in the organs, they look inside of him and stuff to see how these organs are progressing, and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into this into any great length, because if the premise there doesn't intrigue you about humans evolving to eat plastic and stuff like that, cutting their bodies open and putting ears on people's heads and stuff like that, it's good. Yeah, why humans no longer have pain or infections. Yeah, so you can do that without getting an infection. Like, now maybe some of the things I think I might have went whew over my head, because I was just so just kind of like in awe of some of the imagery and just the weird storytelling that I like that stuff. So that's why I gave it a generous 7.5. It's nowhere near Cronenberg's best film, but just thinking upon it, letting myself kind of have that time to digest it, talking about plastic and stuff, but no, just having that time to digest it, I'm like, that was a very interesting idea. I like that, especially with the manufacturing of the plastic bars and stuff. Like, it's bookended with that concept, with the child dying, eating the plastic, and then eventually at the end, Viggo Mortensen realizes, yeah, he's going to try it too. He's going to try to eat some of those plastic bars that are manufactured by Scott Speedman. Right? Speedman character. Why performance artists mutilate their bodies. So there's a big article up. And I'm sure there's going to be more spoiler videos out there. I just want to give you guys my thoughts on some of the spoilers in the movie. I like the relationship between Caprice and Saul. I like that quite a bit. That was a good performance. And I do like Léa Seydoux in this quite a bit, because she really is going like with that whole, when she goes to see that girl with the cuts on her face, then she modifies her body as well. So there's metaphors for like people, it's like a big metaphor for people changing their bodies to what they want it to be without influence of like any other kind of government force. He's working undercover with some detectives to try to find out these people that are pushing the envelope, like with this guy here. This is the guy. I think he is the father of the kid in the beginning, but I think that is maybe. Anyway, he was engineering all that stuff. That he's doing this stuff, and when he dies at the end, because. If you didn't hear my little spiel of things yesterday when I said it gets drilled into your head, some of the imagery, he's just sitting on these stairs, and these two agents or whatever, like they're like assassins, come up behind him and with drills just drill right into his brain, killing him. And I was like, and they show you it. That was like really graphic. I was like, wow, that's just really intense. Of course, there's no drill that you couldn't just sit here and have it drill into your head, unless his skull is paper, because you have to press hard for it to start to drill in and catch. So it just wouldn't go in as easily as they did. That's just a minor quibble. Don't worry about that. It's just it's graphic in that sense, and as I said that when I came out, it's very graphic at some parts. Okay, so then here's Kristen Stewart again. She has a moment with Saul there where she's like, "Oh, I really like this stuff," and kisses her. Kristen Stewart does a good job in the movie for sure, for sure. So with all that weirdness going on, it's definitely worth the watch if you're a cinephile, if you're a Cronenberg fan, if you're a fan of any of these actors. I would say go out and check this movie out because it's got some interesting ideas. And like, as I said, with him kind of working undercover with the cops, doing it to his body himself. He's undercover, guys. And he doesn't go full tilt until the end where he decides to, yeah, okay, I'm going to start eating the plastic as well, too. Wow. Weird ideas, weird execution. And I'm starting to think that perhaps more than not, I appreciated that. I appreciate it. So my 7.5, I think I'll still stand with that score, but I wouldn't give it as low as 6.2. Yeah, that's where I would stand with Crimes of the Future. If there's any other kind of spoilery thing that you want to talk to me about it, let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. And we'll continue on with more of the horror movie news. Scream 6. Scream 6 casting has been announced. And guess who's joining the cast? Maybe you know him. Dermot Mulroney. Okay, so he'll be the first new character. Because we know that Jenna Ortega is coming back. Melissa Barrera, Mickey Madison, and Mason Gooding. Jasmine Savoy Brown and Jack... No, they're not in it. What are you talking about? They're dead. Whoops, spoiler alert, everybody. But we also know that Hayden Panettiere is going to be back as Kirby, and we know that Courtney Cox is going to be in it. So you'll recognize this guy. If you haven't seen him in movies before, it looks like he's going to be playing a cop in the movie. Okay, so that's it. He's going to be after them. There's always cops in there. So this will be the... Well, you don't know if he's going to be Dewey 2.0. He could be a bad cop. You know, have they done that yet? They try to tease a little bit in Scream 3 that the detective was going to be in on it, but they haven't done that yet. So maybe they might do that for Scream 6. Maybe. Jenna Ortega. We're going to talk about her in a few moments too. She's in a new trailer. So, there. Scream 6, that's all you need to know. Coming out next March 2023. So they're shooting it now, I think. Or if not... Yeah, Courtney Cox said this summer, so yeah, it's got to be going on their way pretty soon here, guys. What do you think about that casting? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Night of the Caregiver. What's this? What is Night? Hospice nurse Julie Rao is hired to be a caregiver for Lillian Gresham, who lives in an isolated house in a remote area. Although she is terminally ill, the elderly Lillian is a cordial and sweet lady. Well, this is a long synopsis. My apologies. However, as the night goes on, Julia suspects something demonic is also dwelling in the house, causing she and Lillian to be in grave danger. Okay, well, ooh, it looks kind of bloody. Eileen Dietz is Lillian, and Natalie Denise Spurl is Juliet. Joe Cornett. Okay. Anna Orris. All right, let's go take a look at this trailer for Night of the Caregiver, and we'll talk about it. Exclusive teaser.
Part of a caregiver's job should be good company, and you certainly are that. You okay?
I keep dreaming things or seeing things. I don't know which it is. I don't believe in ghosts.
That was a
Sounds
weird
like
noise.
they believe in you.
Okay, so is there a cult living in the
I'm chasing down
basement
an urban
and
legend.
attic?
I know which one you mean.
Ooh, Eric Roberts. Why wasn't he in the IMDb? Can't go wrong with Eric Roberts, right?
Which one you mean. Though you should know it's just that. An urban legend.
Is there anyone else inside this house?
There's nobody here but you and me.
Acting seems to be okay. Maybe.
Seen it with my own eyes. It wasn't a bad dream. It's not my imagination. I'm
Indeed.
telling you the truth.
Natalie Denise Sparrow.
Julie.
Anna Orris. With Joe Cornette. You're not going to mention... Okay, and Eric Roberts. Ooh. So I think we saw it there. Night of the Caregiver. What was that? So... I think we saw that. Just muted now. Yeah, what? I guess, is that the creature? So it is a creature feature of some kind. All right. Hospice nurse. Yeah, we've seen that. Let's see some of the comments. And someone give her an Oscar for the scream. Okay, so I wasn't the only one that thought that was kind of like, okay. All right, I get it. And the Oscar for Best Actress goes to 048. Is that her scream? Yeah. I don't... Sorry. Oh, yeah. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below. Night of the Caregiver. Are you going to check that out? You know what? B-movie... lower budget B-movie fare is common in the realm of horror movie news, or in the realm of horror, that genre. So I got no problem with that. Hey, sometimes you just gotta roll with what you got, and if that's what you got, it's an interesting premise. So we'll have to see. Okay, moving on. Let's get a little bit more serious. Something a little bit more higher budget is the new Resident Evil series coming out on Netflix. And we've got some new images to take a look at. This is over on Collider, guys. New Resident Evil images unveil plot details of the upcoming Netflix series. So this is a Wesker. This guy is Dr. Wesker or something. And I think that's the only connection to any of the characters in the games, because this is a different iteration here, guys. Okay, but let's just take a look at the images here. Raj, Jade Wesker, right? The daughter, that's his daughter or something. Yeah, so there'll be two Weskers. Yeah, when we saw both the trailer and the teaser that came out, I was really impressed with the production values. They have some quotes here about some of the characters. I'm not going to read them because hey, it's a bit of a, yeah. You already sold me with it. Let's just take a look at the images. So, yeah, the zombies are there. You got like shades of a bit of The Walking Dead mixed in with this, kind of like with them getting trapped in certain places, and they just kind of trying to work with whatever was materializing out of this. It looked like they were making pills for like depression or something, and using the T virus. It was very strange. Okay, so she's in this building, and there's like a zombie shackled up in the basement of some kind. We see a zombie dog. Okay. Yeah, and that's reminiscent of stuff we've seen. So Jade is haunted by her past in New Raccoon City, by her father's chilling connections to the Umbrella Corporation, but mostly by what happened to her sister Billy. Okay, so she had a sister that probably got wiped out by either a zombie or the T-virus mutated her. I don't know how that goes, but those are the new images, guys. It comes out July 14th, I think. Good images, though. July 14th, yeah, right there. On Netflix. So we'll be doing full live watch-alongs, just like we did for Stranger Things. And it'll be a series in a playlist that you guys can follow. New Netflix images. What do you guys think? Terror dog. Yeah. Interesting. Well, not a terror dog, but you know what I mean. Zombie dog. American Carnage. What's this? American Carnage 2022. Not rated. July 15th. No plot. But let's take a look at the cast. Jenna Ortega. Just talking about Scream. I should have put this next to the Scream stories, but whatever. Okay, so this is a teaser. It's got no plot. American Carnage. The only thing that I think I got on this was that it was going to be... Oh, there's that poster. Let's blow that up. Yeah, that's Jenna Ortega, all right. Let's take a look at this teaser or trailer for Jenna... Or yeah, okay, so here it says, horror comedy plot. After a governor issues an executive order to arrest the children of the undocumented immigrants. Oh, okay, so it's going to be topical. I don't know if I like that. The volunteers discover the governor and the facility supervisor have cooked up a horrifying, depraved conspiracy that endangers the young and the old. Huh. Well, let's track it out.
Parties and girls, it's gonna be lit. Later, man.
Oh, it's music. Because it's a live stream, guys. I can't let you hear the music. Okay, so there's the immigrants. ICE. We saw ICE officers come in.
Governor Finn wants all detained immigrants gone by Election Day.
God, I deported.
Okay.
Zero tolerance.
The DA is suffering a
All right, we know that guy. He was in Joker.
Volunteers to help care for senior citizens.
At Owl Cove, we truly appreciate you being here to help out our seniors.
How
Okay.
am I supposed to eat this nasty ass meatloaf?
Meatloaf.
You say something, you know, because your skin.
I'm Argentinian, boludo.
If you stick to the program, your time here should be pretty fast and easy.
Some romance?
You will die here. Sorry?
Oh,
Really got away with
she
it.
said, no one can be trusted.
Trying to escape? Oh!
Nowhere is safe. Okay, so what's with these old people? Something's going on here. We know, are they experimenting on drugs with them or something? Some...
It's okay.
Witness. Ooh,
They've done.
a little bit of body horror there. Carnage.
You stick with the program, you're gonna leave this place more mature. You may even gain a newfound appreciation for life.
Who's that guy? He looks familiar. Oh, somebody's going to get their head sucked into a shredder of some kind. We've seen that in Fear Street last year, right, guys? Except it was a bread slicer. Ooh. Okay. That was kind of creepy.
Am I in here because I'm Latino or black? Or both?
All right, so that's supposed to be the comedy there. The comedy didn't work for me, but that last shot of that old man kind of contorting into something else, mutating. Brett Cullen is his name. Brett Cullen. He's also in Dark Knight Rises. A very familiar face. Let's take a look at what some of the comments are for this. Seems like a lot is happening in this movie. It does, actually. This movie's going to be accused of being woke. I just know it for sure. Yeah, probably. The last horror movie with Jenna Ortega was a letdown. Really? That was X. And I thought it was pretty good. So I don't know, Gary. You don't know what you're talking about too much. She was also in Scream. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Let's take a look at what the whoops. Let's take a look at what the replies were. Which one was it? X. No, I don't think X was a letdown. Yeah, so some people are arguing with that comment. Not a whole lot of views on this trailer. But I know other sources, other sites would have played it. What do you guys think about that? American Carnage. Does it tickle your fancy? It doesn't for me. It doesn't. And I'm allowed to say that every now and then, right, guys? It's something that, I'll pass. Arachnophobia is going to get a remake. We talked about this yesterday, too. Arachnophobia is going to get a remake by the dude, Christopher Landon, who did the Happy Death Day movies, both 1 and 2. So he's been writing and he's going to direct this one. Now, if you saw the original Arachnophobia, it had Jeff Daniels and had Julian Sands there as the professor, who meets his untimely demise in a barn. I don't know what he was doing climbing up there. Hey, you see the big web? You climb up there to take a look around. Yeah, that's a good idea, Professor. Anyway, it had John Goodman and an exterminator in it. That was a lot of fun. So it was like a horror movie mixed with some comedy. And if you were scared of spiders, this would definitely almost give you arachnophobia. As I said when I saw this story yesterday, when I was watching it in the theater, about halfway through, I started to lift my feet off the ground because I didn't want anything to come from underneath to get me, because these little things, it was very effective. And I think nowadays it'll be CG, so a CG thing instead of real spiders. And I don't know if that'll translate as well. I really don't, because they really tried to use real spiders in the original. So we'll have to see how this goes. Sophisticated. Okay, so that doesn't say too much. James Wan is going to be producing. So yes, there we go. James Wan and the guy from Happy Death Day are going to be making an Arachnophobia remake. I think that sounds interesting. No slate yet as to when it's going to come out, but I would imagine if he's still writing it, they'll probably shoot it next year, maybe towards the end of this year. So maybe 2024 is something, in the ballpark as to when we would get this Arachnophobia remake. I'll be on board for that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. All right, now we got a bunch of trailers and teasers to go through here. Let's talk about. I haven't watched this overnight. I don't know what it's. I don't know what it's about, guys. After a romantic weekend gets sidetracked, a young couple find themselves at an outdated hotel, caught up in murderous death loops, and as bait for a demon. Huh. As bait for a demon. Interesting. I don't mind trying to coax a demon out from the underrealms. Everybody dabbles every now and then. Let's take a look at this. Well, there's the poster. Now, guys, prepare yourself here. It's probably going to be low budget, but as I said, that's usually some of the case most of the times with these lower budget fare. But it's got an interesting premise, so hopefully it won't let us down. A haunted hotel. I like that. I wrote a treatment for a story about a haunted hotel. Maybe I'll tell you guys that afterwards. Let's take a look at this teaser.
This could be fun, right? Little adventure, spontaneous excitement.
Okay. Production values look okay.
I am Salim.
Ooh.
Could you sit me up?
So they're trying to sell a little bit of sensuality here.
You look stunning.
Just wait till tonight.
With a creepy... This is called In the Basement.
What have I done?
For 30 years.
This place gives me the creeps.
Zatanna or Satana? Has been undisturbed until now.
Play with us forever.
We have a problem.
A little bit of
Jesse, you have
Shining.
to leave.
Oh my god.
Now. Salim? Is that you?
okay.
I'll see you in hell.
The overnight. Actually, that didn't look all that bad. What do you guys think about that? I thought it would be kind of low budget, but it wasn't. Well, we know that there's like that token cult, but what I meant by a little bit of the Shining was that, how they were saying like, come play with us, kind of like those twins were saying like, come play with us, Danny. I got vibes of a little bit of Psycho there with the guy who checked them in there. You know, he's like, what have I done? Kind of thing. Like, he's led these people into the cult there that are in the basement or whatever. Let's take a look at some of the comments. None. Nobody's checked out this trailer. Come on, it's got 2,900 views. But interestingly enough, guys, I'm going to have to say that that one is going to be on my radar. Now, some of the makeup look a little bit, well, suspect, but I'm intrigued by this premise. It looks like it's going to have a little bit of sensuality to it. I'll check it out. The Overnight, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Arglass Viking says in live chat, John Goodman was the 5th Ghostbuster we never knew we had or needed. He was great in Arachnophobia. Yeah, he was. Will he have a cameo in the sequel? Well, they could, but if it's a remake, like they're rebooting it, probably not. Or maybe they could just have kind of like a wink kind of cameo. So that could be. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Swallowed. Has a it's Jenna Malone. I'm not going to reboot that page. Swallowed. Hopefully there's a plot here. 2 childhood friends, one whom is in love with the other, must survive a horrific night in a backwards hell of drugs, bugs, and obscene intimacy in this, why do you have to say that word? Horror nightmare. Just say nightmare. Horror nightmare. Why do you need to add that in? From the director of The Ruins, Jenna Malone, Mark Patton. Love me some Jenna Malone. Okay. Yeah, I do like Jenna Malone. Quite a bit, actually. Swallowed. Teaser.
Does he know how in love with him you are? You must, right?
Tell me one good reason why I should stay here.
You're super famous. You gonna remember me?
Oh.
You gonna remember this place?
What are you gonna do when I'm not around to protect you, huh?
Guys like that don't live in LA.
Guys like that live everywhere.
Got a little going away present for you.
Are you Dom?
Yeah? Who are you?
A friend of your cousin's.
Surprise! I just wanted to send you off to California with a little bit of cash, all right? It's just a package for a friend.
Drugs? Are you okay?
Where are we?
Okay, so they're taking drugs out in the woods. Not a smart idea, guys, in case you have a bad trip. Ooh.
I can't feel my legs.
So he is having a bad trip.
Is that you?
I think you can go now. I can take this from here.
What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Ah! I don't know what to do. Ah!
What
This is
happened?
on you as much as it is on anybody.
You don't want them hatching there, okay?
You don't want them hatching there? Is that what she said? Swallow. What did she say?
Okay.
You don't want them matching? Me there. Okay, matching. I thought she said hatching. Swallowed. Well, now I know why they really wanted to capitalize on that word. I guess because they're showcasing that. I don't know. It's a teaser. Survive a horrific night in the backwoods, because it looks like he has a bad trip. That's more what it looks like. From the director of The Ruins. That was that movie where they go to that weird kind of temple, and they get trapped up top because they can't come down because there's like a weird force going on. I can't remember how that goes. Anyway, Art Glass Viking says, so Swallowed is about drug mules? Well, yeah, maybe. About people who are trafficking it, moving it through the woods, in the backwoods, and they find that guy who's probably just like that old man is probably somebody like a contact who's like distributing it, or like kind of like having that storage location, and that's the horrificness of it, because it definitely has to do with drugs, and it's obviously a guy who's having, sounds like romantic problems or something like that. Yeah, this guy, it looks like this guy is going to be kind of like the drug contact. Yeah, well, that's just, yeah. That one, it didn't wow me. As a teaser, it didn't wow me. It didn't sell that horrificness to it. It just kind of like showed us who these characters are. I didn't get that ooh moment kind of thing, right? Swallow teaser. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. So it's not drugs. Sometimes the subtitles are spelled wrong. Could be hatching. Hatching. Yeah, well, that's what I thought it said, like hatching. But that's enough about that one. Now, on Crimes of the Future, I saw this trailer for Smile, but I couldn't find it anywhere online. So let's take a look at what Smile is. It's very weird. It was kind of like, wait, is this a teaser? What is this? Mysterious new Smile theatrical teaser brings unsettling grin and release date September 30th. Now, basically in the teaser, it's just this orderly in a hospital walking around from room to room, and then she walks by this one room, and there's just a guy smiling. And I was like, what? That's weird. Yeah, it's kind of like, and smile, and then you see her smiling. Trailer coming soon, so it is out there. I can't find it. I looked on YouTube today to see if I could see the trailer, and it's, as I said, it's just this orderly. She walks through these different rooms. She sees that guy smiling. It was kind of intriguing though. So Smile movie. It was weird. I'll have to keep my eye out for this. Smile stars Sosie Bacon, Jesse T. Usher from The Boys, Cal Penn, okay, Rob Morgan. Okay, so it's got some interesting cast. Maybe next week when this fully drops, we'll do a small reaction to it. But as I said, yeah, it's got that weird. It's about smiling, so I'm guessing it's kind of like almost. Not like a zombie virus, but it's a virus that makes you smile until you die kind of thing. That's what I'm getting from it, perhaps. The plot follows a doctor whose mind begins to turn on her after she witnesses a traumatic event that involves a patient. And that patient might be this dude who just smiles. So she smiles. Really creepy. Yeah, it was kind of just weird. It was just there. It was kind of like, it almost started off like a commercial for something else. And then it was like, what? Smile. I'll keep my eye out for that, and maybe next weekend we'll see that full teaser get unveiled. All right, just some various headlines that are actually in the description, guys, not on here. Yesterday we saw that there was a new TV spot for Nope, where we saw that it did reveal what one of the alien ships looks like. Because we've seen in the teasers and the trailer for it that there was that shot of the horse going down the path, running away from something, and then there's that looming shadow that came over. Well, apparently that's it. And the TV spot shows a lot of the same kind of stuff that we saw from the trailer, but then it showed this motorcyclist or something get picked up by the spacecraft there. At least you think it's a spacecraft. Maybe it's interdimensional beings. You never know. Jordan Peele might be able to put a spin on it, and you can see the body there gets sucked up because, well, we saw that a girl gets sucked up by one of the machines too, or one of the spaceships before. Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya. So it doesn't really show too much. July 22nd. Something I'm looking forward to, for sure. Nope. And, yeah, so there's somebody else getting beamed up. And look, it's by the sounds of it, it looks like these aliens, or whatever they are, do weird experiments on humans and horses, transforming them into other things, mutating them of some kind. But I like the imagery. The imagery looks stunning. Oh, it just knocked that person back. Okay, well, yeah, that's the shot that we saw in the first trailer. Yeah, of the looming shadow, and then they finally show us the craft, flying saucery, very old school. And then it goes back to that guy who gets sucked up. New TV spot for Nope. I'll be looking forward to that, July 22nd. You think maybe soon we might have a second trailer like the final trailer. And when that drops, we'll do a trailer reaction for that for sure. Now, this is the last one I want to talk about today, because I saw this trailer for The Menu with Anya Taylor-Joy and Ralph Fiennes, John Leguizamo, and Nicholas Hoult. And I don't think it's about what I initially thought it was about. Okay, so a young couple travel to a remote island to eat an exclusive restaurant where the chef has prepared a lavish menu with some shocking surprises. And that at that glance, you kind of get the impression that it's cannibalism. That, well, the chef is getting all these rich people to his place, cutting them up and feeding them to new guests. But as I was watching this trailer, yeah, because you can see some weird food here. It's kind of like, what are they being fed? But I'm on my second viewing of it. Anya Taylor-Joy looks great always, but and it's going to be cool to see Nicholas Hoult in this as well. You got the impression that perhaps it's not cannibalism, because he looks, in this shot here, he looks angry that, or not, he looks upset that she's there. And we'll watch the full trailer here after I give you my thoughts, because I wanted you to be cognizant of it the second time that we watch it here. That perhaps it's not cannibalism, that perhaps it's a little bit like The Hunt, that the chefs, or the cooks, are a cult, and he's the cult leader, and they're there to hunt them on this island. That's what I think it's more about, and not perhaps cannibalism, because we see a couple shots in the trailer that they collected them all in this one room, and you see a quick shot every now and then of them trying to break out of that room. You see a couple of shots of people running through the forest, yeah, right there with the cooks after them. So knowing that perspective about the Menu trailer, let's watch it again and see if it maybe rings a little bit different than the cannibalism angle.
Good evening. Welcome to Hawthorne. It'll be our pleasure to feed you.
Tonight will be magical.
Over the next few hours, you will ingest fat, salt, protein, and at times entire ecosystems.
We're eating the ocean. We're eating the ocean.
Is that elitism?
It's just I find it all very moving.
So it's okay that I'm not as into this as you are. Oh my god.
You shouldn't be here tonight.
Yeah. Why did he say that?
You, my dear guests, are not the common man. Isn't that right?
So,
Is he gonna keep doing that?
these
What
people are
happens
chosen
inside
for
this
something.
room is meaningless compared to what happens outside.
Yeah, see? Look at that.
We are but a frightened
It's kind of like you can make a run for it.
Nature is timeless.
What the hell is going on?
I love you all.
We love you too, Chef!
Yeah, see
Any
that?
questions?
Chef. Yes, chef.
Is this bergamot I'm getting, Chef?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So do you get little hints of like The Hunt in that? Like the deadliest game kind of thing? We're going to hunt you now. You've been chosen for a specific reason. So perhaps it wasn't cannibalism, but like that's your initial thoughts. But watching it there on the second time, it also looks like Ralph Fiennes is doing something special here. He's got that ability just to turn into that off character where you're kind of like ooh. We've seen that in Red Dragon, and of course Voldemort, right? He's a masterful performer, and this looks like it's got a great cast. Him, Anya Taylor-Joy, Judith Light, John Leguizamo, and that's pretty much it for the Horror Weekly Roundup, guys. What do you think about some of these stories? Let me know in the comments below. I'm thinking about somewhat trying to revamp a little bit of the format of the show. And I'm going to try some new things with the movie news this week, where I'll try to revamp perhaps the pacing of it. I'll try to do it a little bit quicker. And I may do that by streaming on Twitch first. I would stream Twitch and YouTube at the same time, but my computer is like too old for that. It can't process and render 2 streams at the same time. So I might do like a dummy run on Twitch, like around 11 a.m. in the morning. And then I may go on to do the actual YouTube show at 12. And hopefully it'll be refined by then. I'll go through the stories quicker and add in a little bit more flavor to my presentation. So we'll see how that plays out during this week. I have to, make it a little bit more engaging for some people, I suppose. But we'll have to see. I'll play around with it. Arglass says in the live chat, yeah, they are hunted, but surely appear on the menu. Otherwise, why is it the title of the movie? Well, because the people, that's true. The menu, the title, but the menu just could mean, well, it could mean that too. Yeah. Interesting though, for sure. All right, guys, that's the Horror Weekly Roundup. What do you guys think about some of these stories? Let me know in the comments below. If you don't know, we do a live movie news show daily, 12 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. We do trailer reactions, movie reviews. Let me know your thoughts about some of them in the comments below, and we will talk about it. I'll see you next week for more horror movie news. You're watching Mirror Domains.